Welcome to the best gambling show on the internet. This is the home of the money pick. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. I'm back in the Brazilian torture chamber, and it's fitting because we're cooking up the competition. These money picks keep coming. Shout out to Walter. He won the $250 on Patreon. Let's get this money. Week 13. First game, we got the Dallas Cowboys, them boys, at the New Orleans Saints. The Dallas is -4.5. I got Dallas to win in the cover. Listen, you think Taysom Hill will add some energy. You think he will add some leadership. But I don't know. They have to make plays through the pass offense, and I'm not seeing where it's coming from the Saints. As for Dallas, they got a lot to prove. Mike McCarthy's out with COVID, but I don't know how big a ramification that will be. I think this game is about Dak Prescott. Dak gets his two thoroughbreds back this week. Amari Cooper's not practicing today, but I'm pretty sure he'll be playing. And, the Saints defense is damn good, but you have to play complementary football in this league, and I'm not sure Taysom Hill or if Simeon gets in for a few plays, I'm not sure the Saints can do it. I think that Philadelphia game is a blueprint, and it was the beginning of the end. Now, it's not me hating on the Saints, and this isn't a game I walk into with 100% confidence with Dallas. But this quarterback situation for New Orleans is really hurting the team. I got Dallas -4.5 to win in the cover. Next game, we got the Minnesota Vikings at the Detroit Lions. They're lying about being good. Minnesota is -7. I got Minnesota to win in the cover. Now, I know the fundamentals say maybe Detroit +7. Vikings are on the road. They don't play great on the road. Listen, if the Vikings don't have their whole defensive line out due to COVID, they're going to come in here and win this game. This Detroit defense isn't good enough. This Detroit offense isn't good enough. I know we hit them to cover last week on the Thanksgiving game, but let's not get too excited. I don't think Detroit covered the last game against the Vikings, but it was more about the Vikings getting in their own way. Now, you can't always trust Kirk Cousins. You can't always trust Mike Zimmer. But in this game, I think Dalvin Cook's out. I think Madison comes in. He goes for over 100 yards. Minnesota wins and covers at Detroit. Next game, we got the Arizona Cardinals. Zona at the Chicago Bears. The Bears. Zona is -8. I got the Bears to cover, Zona to win. But it hedges on this. If Justin Fields plays, because the Bears need that energy, and they also need Justin Fields in the run game. Now, we know he's got 2 cracked ribs, so how active will he be in the run game? I'm not sure, but I know he can roll right and throw deep, and that's what you need to do in this league. That's what you need to do against the Zona front. You need to buy time. And I think Zona's offense will have a little bit of difficulty in Soldier Field. It's not the easiest place to play. It's not the easiest place to sling that ball around the field. We'll see Murray back, and of course, that's going to help. I'm not talking upset, but +8 is an awful lot for these Bears. I'm pretty sure the Bears cover. Don't expect anything good from them. I don't expect a good performance from them, but Arizona will struggle to win this game, but they'll get it done in the second half. Next game, we got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Atlanta Falcons. Tampa Bay is -10.5. This is one you go back and forth with a few times in your mind, because at a certain point with Tampa Bay, you're playing psychologist. I was right last week, and I got the money to prove it. But I got Tampa Bay to win in the cover again. And Atlanta played a little bit better last week against the Jags. But is that anything you can count on? And this Atlanta's defense is porous. I know a lot of people want to talk about Matt Ryan and his struggles, and we can go there. But I think this Atlanta defense won't be able to keep up with Brady and company. This Tampa Bay offense, you saw them just lift off in the second half against the Colts. The offensive line's blocking great. Atlanta does have a pretty decent pass rush. I just don't see how they get to Brady, and Brady's going to pick them apart. I mean, this is a borderline money pick at -10.5. It's a little bit too much for my blood, because Tampa Bay's motivation level is always a concern. But I got Tampa Bay to win in the cover. Next game, we got the Denver Broncos at the Kansas City Chiefs. Denver is +10. Money, money, money! Money! Denver to cover is the money pick. Kansas City to win. I've been on Kansas City these last 3 weeks. When all the other YouTubers buried them, I was here betting the Chiefs on Patreon, winning my fans' money. And this isn't an indignation on the Chiefs. This is about the Denver Broncos, and anyone who's on Patreon knows I have the Broncos as a bet. I ended up changing it late in the week, and the main synopsis is this. They play really, really good press man-to-man. Every single pass is contested from this Broncos defense. I think they wear Mahomes out a little bit. Even without Von Miller, the Broncos will be able to get a pass rush against him. And listen, you're not going to get a lot out of Theodore Bridgewater. That's why I got the Chiefs still winning the game. But if Theodore Bridgewater could at least throw over 20 yards, maybe once or twice a game, I mean, this could be an upset potential. Arrowhead Field, listen, we know this Denver defense is playing good, and that's why I like the +10. But you don't want to count Mahomes out. You don't want to count the Chiefs out. I think the Chiefs win by 6 or 7, but they're not covering this 10. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. Go to my Patreon, only $5 a month. Let's get this money. Next game, we got the Indianapolis Colts at the Houston Texans. The Colts are -8.5. I got the Texans to cover, Colts to win. There isn't a lot of science here. I think the Texans can keep it close, and I think there will be a little bit of a letdown in energy, a little bit of a letdown in verb after the Colts lost that heartbreaker against the Bucs. Listen, the Colts really shouldn't have lost that game. You get a 17-point lead with a good running back, with a good offensive line. You can't blow it. Those are the types of things that create cataclysm in locker rooms. That's the type of things that hits confidence. Now, Houston can't do much. Actually, Colts to win in the cover. I was just trolling you guys. I wanted to see if you know when I'm trolling. Listen, Houston won us our money this year with the Titans, but that's not something we're going to go back to week in and week out. Colts to win in the cover. Next game, we got the Philadelphia Eagles at the New York Jets, JTS. Philly is -6.5. I got Philly to win, but the Jets to cover. I think Zach Wilson had a little bit of pop and verb in this team. I'm proud of him, but the reason why the Jets can't pull this upset is this defense. I think Hurts and company responds. Now, here's one thing I'm a little bit worried about from the Philadelphia Eagles. Miles Sanders and the second-string running back will probably miss this game. So it's pretty much down to Hurts and Boston Scott to generate rush yards. And, you know, Boston Scott can play, but that's not who I want to be my bell cow. Miles Sanders will be missed. I think the Jets defense will keep it competitive for the first 3 quarters, and Philly's going to pull away with this. But Philly needs to stick to basics. Run the ball, read option, play action with Hurts. Sirianni didn't put Hurts in good positions last week. I'm not trying to make excuses for my boy, but I think he comes back. They win this game, but it's going to be a dogfight. It's not going to be easy, and I just think that -6.5, -7, depending what book you bet with, is a bit too much. Next game, we got the Los Angeles Chargers at the Cincinnati Bengals. Chargers +3. Money, money, money! Money! Cincinnati to win in the cover. We had them as a money pick last week. People didn't like it. They did not like it. But Cincinnati is going to win this game, and I'm going to tell you why. And it's the same reason why I posted the Broncos on Patreon last week, late in the week. It's because this Chargers team isn't tough enough, isn't robust enough, isn't nasty enough in that front 7. You got Joe Mixon coming into town. And you actually got Joe Burrow, who will throw over 20 yards, who will do play action, who will get it to Jamar Chase, who will create big plays. You have to play physical in this league. And the Chargers just weren't physical enough against the Broncos, and I don't see them changing it in a week. Even their offensive line got pushed around last week. And you look at this. When you look at this Herbert versus Burrow matchup, yes, I like Herbert a little bit better than Burrow, even though Burrow's been one of my favorites in this league since he walked in. But who's going to get better protection? Who's going to get put in better positions? Who's going to have the better running game? I'm going with my man Burrow. And I think this Bengals defensive line with Hubbard and company is really underrated. I think they get at Herbert, and the Broncos laid out a blueprint. Same with the Vikings. Forget the zone coverage against the Chargers. Forget sitting back and dropping 8. Press man-to-man, rush 5, play physical, take some chances, and that's how you beat the Chargers offense. I think Cincinnati does it. It's a big game for them. I know people are afraid of the letdown, but I think Cincinnati responds, and Joe Mixon's the X factor. Next game, we got the New York Giants at the Miami Dolphins. Miami is -3. I got Miami to win in the cover. Listen, what we're seeing out of this Miami offense isn't anything special. It's not anything sexy. A lot of it's the run game, read option, pass read option. We're seeing all of that. And what's most important is they're getting the ball out of Tua's hands. Now, a Tua turnover can happen at any minute, any second, whether it be fumble, he fumbles a snap, or he just throws a pick 20 yards over his receiver's head. But you look at Waddle for Miami, I think he's the X factor. I think he creates some plays. And this Giants offense was absolutely dead last week. I mean, sure, it's good. They beat the Eagles on Michael Strahan Day, but that was all defense. I think this is a defensive battle, and honestly, I like the Dolphins' defense better than the Giants' defense. Both are pretty good, but Miami is just rolling right now, and I'm rolling with the momentum. Next game, we got the Washington No-Names at the Las Vegas Raiders. Washington's +2.5. I'm going Washington and the points. This falls into the category of who the hell knows. Listen. Yes, I was right about Washington and Seattle last week. But was I sure about it? Did I run to Vegas to put the bet in? No, because they're unreliable. And listen, Vegas played good against Dallas, but this is the type of stuff people getting over emotional. The same thing last week with the Colts. The Colts blew out the Bills and Ralph Wilson. But you would think the Colts won a damn Lombardi and Carson Wentz came home with the MVP trophy and stuff like that. Sometimes you just have to go back to fundamentals, and I'm looking at this game. Washington can stop the run, and that's a big factor. If Josh Jacobs can't get going, I don't think Carr's got enough targets. And you know what? Heineke is Heineke. I'm not a fan, but give me Heineke in this game because he gets the better run game. Washington to win in the cover. Upset. Next game, we got the Baltimore Ravens at the Pittsburgh Steelers. Pittsburgh are +3.5. I'm not trying to hedge my bets here. I'm not trying to dodge from my responsibility. My responsibility every week is to come on here and give you good picks. I got Pittsburgh to cover, Ravens to win. Listen, I feel better about Pittsburgh with the 3.5. I think they're going to respond. And guys, sometimes I stay off the internet. I went on Instagram, I went on Facebook, and I saw people saying Mike Tomlin needs to lose his job. He's the worst coach ever. And when I see stuff like that, I know we're going to get a response from Pittsburgh. And also, this Baltimore team was so bad against the Browns. Like, I know Chris Collinsworth was saying, oh, it's AFC North football. You got to win games like this, guys. I don't think that. The Ravens look extremely sloppy, way too sloppy for me. Their defense at least played better last week, but who isn't stopping Baker Mayfield? I think Pittsburgh has a good performance here. I think this is a field goal game. Baltimore wins just barely, but Pittsburgh covers. Next game, we got the Jacksonville Jags at the Los Angeles Rams. Jags +13.5. I'm going Rams with the -13.5. I wasn't on the Rams last week, but this is what I told you. This is the type of game where the Rams play good. When the Texans are coming to town. When someone's bad coming to town, Stafford gets ready. He whips it around for 350, and everyone thinks it's going to the Super Bowl. Everyone thinks it's rolling in motion. This Jags defense is good, but this Jags offense isn't playing complementary football. They're not helping the defense. They're not helping Trevor Lawrence, and it's starting to look like our man, Urban Meyer, is just drowning in quicksand. Rams winning the cover. They're built to win games like this. Are they built to beat good teams? Probably not. Next game, we got the San Francisco 49ers. Jimmy G at the Seattle Seahawks. San Fran is -2. Money, money, money. Money, San Fran to win in the cover. I'm not overthinking it. And I know we had kind of the same argument. People just were like, Russell can't go 3-8. He's got to beat the no-names. The Seahawks organization doesn't lose games like this. They're good on the road. They're good at home. Whatever. They had a great record in 2017. We're going to hear all of it, but let's get the fundamentals. Who's going to run the ball better? Who's going to run the ball better? San Fran. Who's going to use play action better? San Fran. Who's going to have more creativity and gusto on offense? San Fran. And both of these defenses level each other out. And we know that the Seahawks, they're going to bang against the run. They're going to fight. But they really weren't able to slow down Washington's running attack. Now you got Shanahan coming into town. 49ers need to win this game. 49ers are peaking. It's November 30th. They're peaking. They're ready for December. They're ready for these playoffs. This is a money pick. This is borderline college fun stuff. I don't want to go too crazy before we saw the Friday injury reports, but this is borderline college fun stuff. Next game and last game of the weekend, we got the New England Patriots, the Hooter, at the Buffalo Bills. Bills are -3. I'm digging my trench here. This is World War I. I'm just slinging in here, throwing the mustard gas, just hoping a bomb doesn't land on me. I'm going Buffalo to win in the cover. Not a lot of science. And this is the game that's going to create discussion this week. This is the game people will be judged upon. I think Buffalo wins this game. And you have to look at the Patriots' schedule. And I'm not trying to take anything away from Matt Jones and the Hoodie Bill Belichick and Matt Judon. But they do have one of the weakest schedules in the league. I think they're actually at the weakest schedule in the league so far. They're going to get a tough game this week, and the Bills got to respond. And I just think the Bills make more plays through the pass game. And eventually we have to see this Patriots offense slow down. We saw the Titans play a good first half and completely collapse. I don't think the Bills are collapsing here. I'm going to do another video on this game as the week goes on to get more down in the analysis. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. Guys, keep sharing the videos. You guys are awesome. Hit that like button. Help me with the algorithm.
Step by step, by step, by step. Left, right, left, right, left, right.